The internet is a prison, and I hate all of you equally. You are 1 degree removed from YouTube Shorts. You have the attention span of a mite. Wendigoon has a career because none of you have the willpower to sit down and read a book. People make careers off your lack of cognition, and you let it happen. Stop asking me for slop. Go back to the feeding trough and find another provider. I will finish part 2 of this video, and then I am done with this side of the internet. I want my videos to have a purpose, and this genre is devoid of one.
You said you are done with this side of the internet? Well, you better be. On one hand, it'd be good to never have to see your face ever again. But also, you're becoming a lolcow. Whether you like it or blame it on Twitter again. Hey guys, it's me, Kyle Source, the saddest channel on earth. And I'm here to gladly tell you, we can finally bully Pappo. And believe me, he has a lot of loathsome quality to him. For someone whom I've only heard of this year, he's already proven to have one of the most hated reputations I've ever seen. He's this self-centered, bridge-burning, fucking clueless idiot who tends to let his emotions run wild within society. He's like the failed son of the soulless, no personality maxing, Sunny V2 copying video essayist, and the fandom rage-baiting, conniving, egotistical, petty, detestable quality of an Illuminati. He's like what would happen if you took Chasington and Terror, combined them together, and then gave whatever horrendous abomination that comes out of that horrible experiment Down syndrome. That's who Pappo is. And yes, I know those are very harsh words for someone y'all have probably never heard of. And even after this video, I imagine a lot of y'all probably still think it's way too harsh.
Unless I don't give a shit.
In order to understand this dude, we had to look at his most infamous video yet, Trance Music and the Desire to Exist. A video that made the rounds on Twitter for being utter dog shit.
Right away in my college in this running, stretching on my luck, with my lips and left bodies being put in my taking the middle of my years and
I watch it and it's not that bad. It's also not that good like a lot of the people on Twitter says, but it's like whatever. As the first introduction to trance music and trance aesthetic, it's I'm not supposed to have too much opinion on this, as I am a sissy-wussy 20-year-old male and not a trans femme or trans marks. My lawyer have told me not to say too much out of legal reasons. I'm just here to make fun of this dude. All you need to know is that this is a very divisive video, and currently the comments are only for subscribers and channel members. Plus, the comment that he had heard just so happened to paint Twitter as miserable people. This is going to be a repeating pattern with this dude, by the way. Here's the thing, Twitter isn't a wonderful place. People have been saying that for so long, that statement is no longer even good. In the case of Pappo, however, I think he knew quite well what he was doing when he blamed everything on that app. As much as that platform does promote extreme emotions and irrational sentiments, it's also true that sometimes, just, you know, sometimes they might have a point, especially when a lot of these people are coming from the same communities you were never a part of. Especially when a lot of those criticisms conveniently bleed outside of Twitter and to the same platform you currently hold the most power in. And when you lump everything you see and hear on that app as nothing more than negativity, especially when they start to uncover a past you hid from your own audience, I think something has gone seriously wrong. So what is that past exactly? Well, it has something to do with one of his oldest viral hits, The Tragedy of SML Wiki, a website created by Harper Farthing, aka Nezui, as a tribute to their now deceased friend. In August of 2024, she would announce that the website would be down because she ran out of money. Now, the website did eventually got back up from its feet like 5 days later, though it wasn't without controversy, especially regarding Pappo's idiotic comments. You see, for some unknown reason, Pappo would jump in and say that SML Wiki going down is great actually, and then saying that he was gonna donate $6,000 to $7,000, don't you fucking dare make any jokes. And then he just backed out of that deal, despite knowing why Nezui needed the money in the first place. Which immediately made me ask, what exactly is in the now deleted video that would make you two fought to the point that you would not donate any money to her website? Anyways, like 5 months later, he would apologize to Nezui and like a bunch of other people about being toxic and whatever. Though of course, with the way he's been acting in the past year, I doubt much of anything he said in this document is really that genuine. I still don't really know what he meant by personally, I don't like you. From what I researched, someone called Nezui a freak, though it was from some rando on the internet, and in this post-truth world where everyone is in their own bubble of information, I don't fully trust this person and their claim. Anyways, the site would ended up being being down in May of 2026, which meant in the end, Pappo was the one coming out with the W. Though, not before gems like this being dug up on his Discord. Rotten son. Rotten, evil son. First of all, is this guy participating in daddy-son roleplay or something? You want to be called daddy? You want to be like Jack Monroe and have live stream crashing out in random god chicks? And second of all, you started this. All of this. From uploading the video to your repeated crash outs, this is 90% your fault. Not counting Nezway or trolls being a thing. Man, this guy is reaching my level of cringe Discord messages. Anyways, all of this drama would culminate with him being diagnosed with cyclothymia, a type of BPD that caused him to go on mood stabilizers, though I imagine he must have been off the mess lately for things to spiral out of his own control. You see, this dude has an amazing ability to piss off every fanbase he came across. Of course, the trans music video would piss off that community by a bit, but then there's also the Roblox the Sim community, the Megabong video, then the Befriend the Retro Slap video, then the Wendy Goon community, the Chazington community, then the Shipwreck 64 career, and it just go on and on. With all these controversy occurring one after another, it slowly but surely painted him and his reputation in a worse and worse light. He tried to respond multiple times, but of course nobody believes him. This way of responding is what is called the Lolcow fallacy, an idea of thinking where every time you think that you're just one response away from drama, from moving on, from owning the haters, it just never works out. In reality, nobody cares and your reputation is thoroughly in the mud at this point. Though his responses are not good, don't get me wrong. His debunking community post led to a Twitter account that is now completely privated, so you can't even see his debunking Google Doc anymore, even if you want to read all that. You actually had to go on his Wikitubia page to find it. And honestly, by continuously making another response after another, he's kind of making it known that Twitter does get under his skin. And when that didn't work, he went on this legendary crash out. First with this long ass list of shit people wanted him to do. Pappo, can you make another video like Shipwrecked? Pappo, can you make another video like Fast Weird Toddler Fun? What is Fast Weird Toddler Fun? Pappo, can you talk about analog horror? I mean, you already kinda have the vibes. Can you summarize analog horror, please? Maybe don't do that. Can you talk about my awesome N64 style retro gaming about nostalgia and depression? Okay. Can you make another video like Shipwreck? You said this twice. Can you mindlessly praise garbage that's not what you're known for? Can you make a video about something I like? That's like a pretty normal thing to request. Can you talk about digital horror? Can you talk about internet horror? Can you let me LARP? LARP? Really? Is Danny's World a terrible game of terrible... Yeah, it's just... It's Forsaken, a terrible game of terrible people. I guess Beagle Tech would say it is. This is a terrible comment, terrible song, terrible video again. Is this a terrible for people? I'm not playing Danny's World. You peek a Shipwreck 64, you make another video like Shipwreck 64. This guy, he peaked a Shipwreck 64, I'm gonna just say that. SML Wiki got an update, can you talk about it? Can you talk about my sub-shipment, dude? They're really doing subsess here. You played Roblox wrong, you don't like my game, I'm going to tell Twitter, you are pretentious, ego, contrarian, too negative, too biased. Talk about what happens in the video, but not have any actual thoughts on your own. I don't like opinions. Can you talk about analog horror? Can you make another video by Kinito Pet? August going great. It is giving Drake vibes. It is giving Drake's vibes here. And the ugliest one at that. And of course, after all that, he would drop his legendary comment that will forever haunt him from now to the end of time. You can see the comment for yourself. I don't need to tell you why this is some painfully cringe shit. Now, just because Pappo is becoming a Lolcow and a half doesn't mean that I'm willing to give every one of his offs their W's. There's also another dude, SH, another video essayist channel of the same caliber, someone who also loves to shit on Pappo despite being in the same level of commentary and probably the same level of morality too, because guess what? He was exposed to suicide baiting. People love to rack on traits they hated in themselves most. I get that the document is no longer really easily accessible, but this is debunked, dude. Like squarely, if you bought into this, you have failed. So yeah, Lolcow doesn't just attract attention, they attract other Lolcows in disguise. The kind of people who want to prove they are morally superior over some autistic virgin on the internet. None of these guys would compare to me though. I'm the biggest loser of them all. I'm built different. Don't tell me when I can't be. Anyways, with all that train wreck out of the way, what is truly left of Mr. Pappo? I know to some people, he's basically irredeemable and should be killed in cold blood by ICE detainees. On the other hand, many people are still loyal to him and think all the crits he's been getting are nothing more than noise. So ultimately, what do I think? Well, as someone who chose to watch some of his later and shorter works, I better be paid 6 to 7,000 to watch a 30-minute plus Pappo video. I do have some thoughts, primarily being I would never watch this guy's video if I didn't have to do research for this video. Personally, I think his content is completely unwatchable garbage. Okay, maybe that is a bit extreme, but then again, he doesn't give a shit, so why should I? The vibes are utterly rancid all the time. The dude sounds like he's always had some kind of personal grudges unrelated to the actual media he's reviewing. His editing choice resembles an unholy combination of the Y2K, post-ironic shitpost, and a little unidentifiable liquid at the bottom of some dumpster you find in the back alley of NYC. Decked out with 50 used condom, entire rat concerts, and a vague smell of disappointment for ever being in there in the first place. But hey, you know, that's just my opinion. Always remember, me, all this, stones in glass houses. He might have some good points, he might even have some good videos. I just don't have enough patience to sit through all of his content. This nerdcore shit has never been the content I want to watch, from Digital Circus to Dandy's World. And that's pretty much everything I have to say about this guy. Look, at the end of the day, he and I are both working in the same medium, though in completely different sectors, so we don't get to see each other very often. Technically, we are co-workers under the same company, but YouTube would love it more if co-workers fought each other rather than working and collaborating with each other. To find out some of the more egregious changes to the platform that we have to deal with. It sounds like I'm doing much better as a YouTuber here. I've been burned before. It's not a good feeling when you have been through that experience. Some snakes will burn you until the only thing you have left is what you're really made out of. If Pappo were to leave the internet now, what would he have to show people for it? I always personally think back to people like Norman Bhutan, the writer of the hilariously bad Empress Teresa, and wonder, is he truly proud of his work? And the answer is always yes. For as awful and childish as that book is, Norman put his all into it. It's his greatest life achievement to date in his 78 years of life. He loves, he cherishes, and he holds a special spot for it. Pappo's main body of work can never really be a work of anything, to be honest. He constantly downplays his own biggest videos, constantly says that what he does is for clout and money, and has a general sense that all these videos he makes doesn't matter. And if he doesn't care about any of his work, why should I, or anybody for that matter? He is no one's favorite YouTuber, and maybe that's for the best. Anyways, we're gonna nip this shit in the bud because this is the saddest channel on earth. Next video, Burnham, it's Tom.